Today, I'm watching Yellowjackets Season 3, Episode 9. We're getting close to the end of the season. It hasn't been my favorite season so far. Still no word about a Season 4, so I'm curious to see where we're gonna go. And in the previous episode, we had adult Melissa introduced, and adult Shauna and Melissa had this very strange interaction. Shauna made Melissa try and eat a piece of her own skin. Very weird. Shauna is getting further and further off the rails. It was nice to see Jeff and Callie kind of realize, that she's not the best person. And, Jeff talking to those guys about the hotel, about a possible job involving his furniture store. We saw Van's cancer really kick it up a notch, and she was in the hospital talking to the dirt-eating version, sleepwalking version of Ty, and Ty being, real Ty being locked out of the hospital room. Misty is still very much on this case of trying to figure out what happened to Lottie. Still a lot of questions, so yeah, I'm very curious to see where we're going to go in this episode. We also saw them blatantly reject this rescue plan with Hannah and Cody, and yeah, very curious to see what their plan is now. If they're going to we know they get rescued at some point, but yeah, still a lot of pieces missing, so very curious to see where we're going to go in this episode. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
That's Taissa.
Hey. You're awake.
Yeah, we keep seeing her have flashbacks to younger her from the wilderness, which is interesting.
Do you remember the Goonies?
Oh my goodness. Of course they would talk about movies.
The greatest quests of all time. Mikey, he finds out that he's about to lose his house.
It is a great movie. You will hear no other argument from me other than how great it is.
X marks the spot. Taissa's been trying to show you.
On a treasure map? Okay.
Even more reason. She needs this too.
I'd be very worried to see what happens to Ty if Van actually dies. Oh, what? What is this?
Something for the road.
Black goo that she's injecting? What is happening? Get what treasure? What is happening? Also, whoever did casting is impeccable. They look so similar.
His nurse said that was the only thing he wanted to do before he died.
As soon as we get home, I'm gonna get you the best fucking taffy there.
Come on, Ty.
Quick, Goonies never say die. Yes, I love it. Okay, quick jailbreak from the hospital.
How can you do this? It should be obvious by now.
She's psychotic and she's crazy. Oh my gosh. This poor girl. I mean, of course they have to cut to a close-up for that bite. Gah. No thank you. No thank you. Ugh. Oh, revenge! Oh my god. I'm worried. Of course she's out of gas. Come on, the tropes. Can we not?
Yeah. Well, I already did. And they're gonna do it. So.
Yeah, how is she gonna make them all stay? How is that possible?
Well, it sounds like you guys all have a lot to discuss, so I found braiding each other's hair and partaking in some light cannibalism.
Oh, it's not funny. Ha ha. Yeah, we know these two were reported. Well, we know Hannah dies and that he was reported missing, but...
Shauna, we can put them in the animal pen until we decide what to do.
That's what they said about Coach Scott. I wouldn't test Shauna. Yeah, bad idea, buddy.
Try and remember what winter was like. We survived. We ate a fucking kid.
Yes. Yes. No, you can't do another winter here.
And you and I both know what comes next.
Good thing you've been practicing with the cards.
Oh my god. Ty. I mean, dirt-eating Ty. Whoever you are. We did see the man with no eyes the previous episode, so I know it's not the real her, but yeah, they also had like 10 other people with them the last time that they ate, so yeah, I think another winter is gonna seal it for them.
Oh, Jesus. Can't believe someone's actually having a worse day than I am.
Oh, they're passing her. Oh, yeah. Oh. Thank you, Detective Misty.
I think Misty's right.
What?
She's like, there's no way. I already had one horrible reunion today. I'm not making it two. Oh my god, why the tire iron? What is happening? To help her with the car, I'm hoping?
I don't know how you're still alive, but you won't be much longer if you don't cooperate.
Wow, 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 Misty. Spicy today. I mean, every day. Who am I kidding? X marks the spot. Oh, sugar. She's gonna find the treasure. Is Melissa the treasure? Well, I mean, they've kidnapped her now, so add that to the list of ongoing crimes.
Don't do this. She's out of her mind.
You shut up, or you really will be dead.
Oh my god, this poor girl. She's like, there's a reason I didn't talk to any of you when I pretended I was dead for this song, because you clearly lost the plot. We know Coach had a pit like this set up, but it's also reminding me of one of the many unanswered questions we had from the first, that definitely is Coach's. Oh, yeah. Well, he added some spikes. That first, I think literally the first scene of the show, like episode 1, season 1, was that girl running and falling into a pit. So maybe that's what they're finally going to resolve. That's kind of what came to mind, the first thing.
Oh, God. In here. Yeah, okay. I might have made things a little bit worse.
With her face covered in blood. Shauna.
What are we going to use to tie her up with?
Hang on. Can we just take a minute here?
Why?
Shauna's instantly like, what are we tying her up with? What's the next mode?
I was getting a cat.
Wow. What a totally satisfying answer.
She did get a cat, but it's still very suspicious.
I saw on their website that they happened to have this cat that was exactly the same as this other cat that Jeff...
Or it was a good cover-up, yeah, when Jeff was in his karma phase.
And locked me in the freezer.
Oh, for the love of God, the freezer was me.
What?
The lock's been broken for months.
Oh, Misty.
No. This is Shauna's mess. You can find some other maid to clean it up.
Yeah, they always bail her out, and Misty's so used to being, like, the one that's always there.
I felt this rush through my body. I've never felt that before when I wasn't tripping.
He's gonna set up Lottie into that trap. Oh, Travis. Is this Walter? Oh my gosh. He's one of my favorite, like, additions to the cast. So nuts, but, like, a perfect match for Misty in this really weird and twisted way, and just, like, this uber millionaire we have no reason, like, we know nothing about. What is she stealing from the plane? Like, these old wires? Is she gonna try and, like, make it out on her own? Like, try and walk back by herself? Oh, the sat phone. She's gonna try and fix it. Oh, okay.
You don't understand.
You need to sit down.
So what do we do?
Oh, she's gonna burn off the rope.
Right back.
Where are you going?
Just going to the car.
Shauna.
Let me think.
Yeah, marrying Hannah's kid is a little weird, but again, the way she described it, it did seem genuine, and, like, obviously they built this life together.
This is the most fascinating study of survival I've ever witnessed. Even more so than horny frogs.
Does she want to, like, study them now, or she's trying to befriend Melissa, probably?
And you believe that?
Why wouldn't I?
She just wants you to feel bad for her. She's manipulating you.
Shauna, you're the manipulator all the time.
Hey, Melissa! I'm not done. See how much I care? You think you're important? No one gave a shit about you until me.
Wow, wow, wow. She is a monster.
Why can't you just be a nice person?
I think the show would be very short-lived if that was true. But yeah, she's a monster.
Say that again?
Like, how they have to see that Shauna is clearly the problem here. Like, they have to be able to put that together. She's clearly just, like, trying to murder one of them at this point. Shauna is just the worst type of person. What a monster. Poor Melissa just was so scared. Oh. Cheese and rice. But yeah, like, how can they just not, like, I know Shauna's obviously very strong, but, like, she's still greatly outnumbered.
Get that? We could go home and you're ruining it. You're ruining everything for all of us.
It's like, I was gonna throw you into this pit, so... Oh, Lottie is gonna walk into it. We know she makes it back as an adult. What's Travis gonna do? It's holding for her somehow? Okay, interesting. And of course that wind coming in right as she mentioned Javi.
Tonight, when everyone's sleeping, cut yourself and Cody free. We're gonna make a run for it.
Okay, interesting, interesting. I feel like it's gonna end badly, but I'm glad they're trying at least.
Is there anything you need?
Fuck, Shauna.
Thank you, finally. I'm so glad we're getting on board for this, because she's nuts.
Who's Eric Chung?
What?
His name is on your rucksack.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
Thrift store. What's your deal? We gotta move.
She doesn't trust him, and I don't blame her. I feel like this is gonna end so badly, but they gotta try something. Like, nobody wants to stay. They know Shauna's nuts, so...
It was Cody. He got the knife.
You lying fucking cunt!
Well, that's rude. And now what? Oh my god! Oh my god! Hannah! Wow, 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 wow! Guess he wasn't missing after all. I thought maybe he could survive in the woods, but she just stabbed him in the eye. Cheese and rice. Okay, bye, Cody. Was not expecting that. Okay.
Please. I want to be part of this.
To, like, research them because she thinks they're, like, an interesting survival group? What the frick? She wants to stay there with them now? Oh my god, Hannah.
Martini a la Misty.
I'm so glad she's hanging out with Walter again.
Say this, but her cat story actually checks out.
Maybe the cat waited in the car during the murder.
But isn't it?
I think Ty still framed Shauna. That's my theory.
The Yellowjackets? I feel your judgment is a touch clouded.
That was a very polite and formal way of saying that, yes. She seems to be listening.
What? No chocolate shavings?
Misty. She's going for the phone. Of course. Oh. Walter in his shorts.
Oh my god.
And of course we won't get to see what she sees on the phone. Ah.
Heirloom cacao bars that I got.
Did she see Walter, maybe? We know he killed the police officer, but it still reminds me of the way Travis died, unless he did that too, which seems like a big stretch, but...
Taissa!
What happened now? Oh my gosh.
The fireplace. I closed the flue.
Oh, shoot. Oh. Breathe. Oh, is that the real Ty in there? Oh.
Hang up.
Whoa, that's such a cool, like, the double exposure.
You've never known what the fuck she needs.
Ty versus Ty. Oh my god, here we go. Oh, bring the real Ty back, please.
It's me.
It's really you.
Oh, I'm so glad. Oh.
The oxygen.
Oh no. Oh, frick. Well, bye, Melissa. You made it this far.
What happened?
Hannah shoved a knife through that guy's face.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay.
Yeah, I was not expecting that in any way.
We're not going?
No, Shauna knows. We're not going.
What do you mean Shauna knows?
She knows, Akilah.
And now what is she going to do to them, knowing that they obviously had a plan against her, and Hannah is clearly unreliable now, and, like, does she actually know the way out? Because it seemed like Cody was the one who actually knew the way, and now he's gone, obviously. Oh. They can see their breath now, too. It's obviously getting colder in the evening. Poor Natalie. And the leaves are starting to fall. Snow's on its way. Yeah, winter is coming. Did Misty fix the phone somehow? I'd be very curious to see if she does. She was obviously looking at it before, like the antenna. Or is this from the black box she destroyed? Yes! Okay. Interesting. We haven't seen that in years. Like, that was like season 1. That might work. That might work, Misty. Oh, she's clearly regretting her ways.
What are you doing?
And now Natalie knows about the black box.
Oh my God. You have the fucking transponder?
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to figure that out, because nobody knew. Oh my gosh, she did that like so soon after they landed.
Right now. Maybe I'll be allowed to live.
Such a weird connection. Oh my god, poor Melissa.
But you're different, Van. There's goodness in you. There always has been.
Yeah, she's usually the least worst out of all of them. Oh.
If the wilderness is telling you to put that knife through my heart so you survive your cancer, then do it.
It's never a one thing. Like, they have to keep killing people. Like, she gets better for a little while and then gets sick again.
I'll be your sacrifice.
Oh my gosh, my heart. I'm worried. I'm worried. I think Melissa's gonna go for the knife. Yeah. I'm worried. Oh no. No, Van. Oh my god, Melissa! I was rooting for you, but you're just as crazy as the rest of them. Oh no, Van. And now she's back. This is what we saw with Natalie too, back on the plane. Watching a movie of her life. Oh my gosh. No, I really liked Van's character. She's gone. Oh, Ty. My heart. I didn't think Van was gonna make it to the end of the season because of her cancer. I wasn't expecting frickin' Melissa.
I know.
And to have her on the plane with her younger self.
Ty? Dead?
And to see Ty's response.
You show me a better treasure. Great. And now I'm dead.
Yeah, now the real Ty's back, but Van is gone. Oh.
If this isn't the ending, then tell me what happens.
Where would be the fun in that?
Oh, come on. What does that mean? These ominous sayings. Natalie, Lottie, Van. Dropping like flies. There can't be another season. We won't have anybody to be in it at this point. So it was my first time watching Yellowjackets season 3, episode 9. It was an interesting episode. Like I said, the season still hasn't been my favorite, but I feel like the later half of this season has been a little bit better. Obviously, we've met adult Melissa recently, and to see her kill Van in this episode was devastating. And again, like I said, I didn't think Van was going to make it past the end of the season. I thought she was going to die. Obviously, cancer seemed to be getting worse and worse, and she literally escaped from the hospital in this episode and had her little oxygen with her. But I figured that's what ultimately would be what took her out. And of course, that is not the case. Melissa stabs her and runs away, and like, this family's got to come home at some point, right? Like, is Melissa just never coming back? Because this is obviously murder now, and they see her on the side of the road, you know, they take her back to the house, and Shauna's first response is, okay, like, what are you gonna do? Let's tie her up, which is a very Shauna response. And it was nice to see Misty stand up for herself and be like, I'm not cleaning up your mess anymore. They obviously bring up Adam, and, you know, she's like, I don't want to just be this person who helps you clean up your mistakes all the time. And I'm glad Misty and Walter are hanging out a little bit more. At that great scene where he shows up in a random field, you know, from this helicopter, and she's able to get into Lottie's phone and see something. Obviously, we don't see what it is, but my first thought was that Walter was involved. We know he killed the police officer with everything in the previous season with Lottie at the commune, and that just kind of disappeared. Nobody ever really talked about it, and maybe he did something with Lottie. I can't really see what his motivation would be at the moment, but she obviously saw something on that phone and ran away. It could be that she saw Shauna doing something, that she saw Ty doing something and ran away to go, you know, confront them as well, or go to the police. Who knows? But obviously whatever she saw on that phone triggered her. And as crazy as Shauna is, I don't think she killed Lottie. I do think it was a setup. We know the cat story was true in her weird karma phase with Jeff, and the fact that, you know, her DNA was in other fingernails seemed replaced. We know that, you know, sleepwalking Ty can do some crazy things and have no recollection of them, obviously. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find out that sleepwalking Ty is the one that framed Shauna. I hope we find out in the next episode who killed Lottie. Again, still no clue as to if there is a season 4. The girls in the wilderness, you know, the Yellowjackets are definitely facing winter is coming, you know, not to sound cliche, but it is definitely approaching. You can see their breath, you know, the snow is falling or leaves are falling, like the seasons are definitely changing. It's got to be close to the end of October, November, somewhere in there now. You know, that winter is definitely starting to creep in, and we know how hard it is for them in winter. Like summer, fall, you know, those seasons they're able to survive a little bit better. And last time they had a lot more people that they could eat, which is a horrible way of looking at it, and clearly they don't have that situation this time. So it was very interesting to see the girls, you know, kind of split into these two groups, you know, Shauna's team and then the other group, you know, that wanted to try and escape. And Hannah also turning out to be nuts. Was not expecting that. And when they mentioned that they were going to escape and they gave Hannah this knife and she was going to, you know, cut herself free and they were going to escape, and this whole time she's been playing very like meek and like very small, and maybe that's part of her plan this whole time. And to hear her talk to Melissa and say, like, you know, from a purely like scientific, you know, approach, you guys are a very interesting study of survival, and she is a scientist. It's still a very weird thing to say. You wouldn't be thinking like, how did you guys do this? But that's where her mind went. And, you know, bringing up her daughter and see Melissa stand up to Shauna was also great in this. But I definitely wasn't expecting Hannah to turn around and stab Cody in the eye. Like, cheese and rice, that was grim. Honestly, I thought when they tried to escape, they were going to kill Hannah. We know Hannah is dead. We saw the obituary. And then I thought Cody was going to be the one who maybe just has been hanging out in the woods this whole time and just never went back to civilization, because even his backstory was very aloof. Like, he just said, oh, I walked into the wilderness one day. So I thought maybe he would, you know, if anybody was going to make it, it was going to be him. So I in no way thought she was going to turn around and just kill him. The body count in this episode was adding up. Now it's making me question, you know, obviously all the scenes that Hannah was in. Was it it just a ruse? She genuinely seemed scared. She genuinely seemed terrified. Maybe she does know a way out and was just putting the, kind of that mark on Cody to be like, well, he knows, but I don't. And it seemed very believable. But again, maybe that was all part of her ruse. She didn't want them to see her as a threat. I don't know. And frickin' Shauna just being the worst. She does shoot at Melissa, hits her jacket, but still, I don't know what the rest of the Yellowjackets are going to do now, because clearly Shauna is power crazy with this weapon and they only have one gun and she keeps it very closely guarded and of course interrupts this whole escape plan. But I'm glad they at least tried something, putting them in the animal pen. The first thing that came to mind was the same situation we had with Coach Scott, Travis and Lottie having that conversation, somehow Lottie not falling through the trap even though we know it works. I also thought maybe they were finally going to explain the girl we saw in the first season, episode 1, where she's running through the woods and falls into the trap, because that was what looked very similar, but that was not the case. I feel so bad for Ty in this episode. We had that cool visual of the cave scene where Ty is fighting Ty, and those black trench coats just made me think of the Matrix, and like the double exposure where we have, other Ty and then the real Ty fighting each other, and they are able to fight their way back. I love the Goonies reference in this, to have, Yellowjackets van visit adult van in the hospital, and the Goonies reference was so good. And her explanation at the end saying like, well, what's a greater, treasure than true love? Like, you were able to, bring her back, and maybe, I don't know who else could have done that. Maybe she's right about that. Like, just that visual of being on the plane. Again, it cut back to the previous season. That's exactly how we ended it with Natalie on the plane. And now we've lost Van. Like I said, I don't know, even if there is a season 4, what's it going to be? Misty and Shauna at this point? Like, I'm very worried for Ty's mental health. I feel like she's just going to spiral, especially now that it's the real Ty is back. Not only is she going to have to deal with all the repercussions of other Ty, like her bank account being drained and like all of these things that she's going to have to deal with, but the fact that now Van is dead, like that was just devastating. And again, we knew with the cancer that she probably didn't have long, but still, I don't think anybody expected this. And Melissa just taking off. I'm very, very glad in this episode they finally closed the chapter on Misty breaking the black box, that transmitter, right when they arrived. Natalie sees her and Misty is so excited because obviously a lot has happened, and when she broke that black box, she wanted to feel validated. She wanted to stay in the wilderness, and now obviously wants nothing more than to fix the sat phone and go home. But looking up at Natalie, all excited with this big smile, like, I can help us go home. And obviously Natalie has the very opposite response of like, you knew where this thing was the whole time. Like, you knew where this, black box was and you didn't see anything. And clearly it's damaged. Maybe Natalie will think it's damaged from the crash, but either way, Misty has known where it was. Like, she walked, there was no wavering. Like, she walked steadfast to that box with her flashlight, and even just that visual of Natalie sitting on that tree crying was, and so tough to see. Like, we don't see the girls break down and cry very often because I don't think they even have time to process what's going on. There's been so much like stuff happening. I think they're still in this state of shock. So to see Natalie just cry and like all hope was just gone, and maybe Misty can fix the sat phone. We know they obviously get rescued at some point. Obviously, that is not through Cody. Hannah wants to join them in a weird scientific way, and maybe the sat phone is their only hope. All I know is that winter is coming. Time is running out for them. They've been there over a year already. I feel like Shauna said in the first episode that they'd been there for 18 months. I can't remember exactly. I feel like she gave a timeline, but they got to get rescued in the next episode. Like, I don't know if we can drag this on for another season. What other stories we have left to tell? But that black box was like this big chunk of a piece that I was like, how does she get away with this? How does nobody ever find out, this whole time? So very curious to see in the next episode how that conversation is going to go, how Shauna going to respond to that. Overall, I enjoyed this episode. Very curious to see where we're going to go in the next episode. Still lots of questions. It might be a show like Lost where you don't get all of the answers, which is their choice. That's their creative direction if that's what they want to go in. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what we're going to get resolved, what they're going to keep open-ended. Obviously, we lost Van in this episode. Adult Melissa is taken off. Hannah is also crazy and killed Cody. You know, they know about the black box now. So yeah, very curious to see where we're going to go, how the girls are going to survive, how long they're going to try and stay. It's going to be a lot harder to leave there in winter, obviously. They're going to try and wait it out till spring and then get rescued. Very curious to see how this season is going to come to an end. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And check back often for more awesome content. On a treasure map? Okay. Of course she's out of gas. Come on, the tropes. Yeah, I think another winter is going to seal it for them. Well, I mean, they've kidnapped her now, so... add that to the list of ongoing crimes. Poor girl. She's like, there's a reason I didn't talk to any of you when I pretended I was dead. She did get a cat, but it's still very suspicious.